It means you're just over 100 times stronger than an average Nume, and at least 5 times stronger than a court mage, she said. According to this, you have a mana reservoir of 915, 12.2 times the current record holder. I guess that's a lot, I said, almost not even believing what she had said. To put it in perspective, it is estimated that dragons would have been about twice as strong as you, Selekar said. That conversation was 2 days ago, and it immediately led to hours of more experiments in which I had assumed I would be poked and prodded, but really I was just activating runes and casting small spells, for the most part anyway. She did have me deposit some blood into a small glass tube like a doctor might use, and I did that by pricking my finger with Mori. Suma fixed it up, and Selekar placed it in the middle of a pre-made magic circle on the table. After about 4 hours, she finally said, "Okay, I think I have enough now. Let's try making you a rune." She fluttered over to a wooden crate and began using magic to float out supplies. She pulled out what looked like paintbrushes, clay sculpting tools, a bowl, and a small dowel jar. Any preference on what type of rune we should start with first? I have put a lot of thought into it, and I think wind runes would be my primary method of attack and augmentation. Could you make me some to perform specific tasks? I asked. Okay, I have done wind and air runes before, so we can test with those first. After the tests are done, I will begin designing runes to perform specific actions and spells for you. Where are they going to be located? Selekar asked. On my weapons, so you will need to make them a bit small, I said. Could I see the weapons? She requested. I nodded my head and summoned Destiny, Mori, Aegis, my Jericho armor, and Twilight, my new warhammer. Here you go, I said, as the last of them appeared. You have a great many weapons, she said, examining them all. I see what you mean by needing to make the runes small. There isn't much room on these to work with. She turned away from them and towards me. There is something you may not be aware of. Runes are focusers of magic power and are made by infusing paint dyes and clays with mana, but they have limiters. No matter how powerful the mage activating them may be, if the runes can't handle it, then they will fail and possibly even be rendered inert. One of the ways to prevent this is by increasing the size of the runes, or the concentration of mana used when making them. So if you decrease the size of the runes, then there is a chance they will break under Jake's power? Suma realized. Exactly, Selekar confirmed. You said we could increase the concentration of mana. What does that mean? I wondered. It means you will prepare all the materials for the runes yourself, and I will use those materials to craft them. This is a rather uncommon procedure, but I have done it before. Nobles actually prefer this method because the runes are personalized to the intended user's power levels. However, she stopped. However? I asked, concerned. You have chaos magic, thus any runes you give your mana to will be chaos runes, meaning most standard rune designs won't work for you. I will need to build you a custom rune pattern, then modify it to fit the needed actions, she explained. Okay, let's do it, I said, excited to get started. We spent about 30 minutes mixing clays, dyes, and paint with my mana, which she had me deposit into a dowel jar first to prevent any risk of automatic conversion. But afterward, everything was ready. Okay, I will begin creating the runes. Give me a moment, Selekar said, and got to work applying the paints and clays to a cloth canvas on the floor by floating it with magic. Suma and I left her to work for a while. We walked around the old school and she told me about what she used to do in the classes and about her memories of attending the academy. We explored for an hour before going back to Selekar's laboratory to check on her progress. Almost ready? I called out as I walked into the room. Suma landed on the perch I had mounted for Suma on the shoulder of my armor. That way she didn't have to fly so slowly, and her feet don't poke into my skin. Not quite. The process is more difficult than I imagined. This may take a day or two, Selekar said without turning to face us. She was deeply concentrating on the problem at hand. We are leaving in just a few days. Will the runes be ready in time? Suma wondered. I believe so. But if they aren't, I deliver rune supplies to different battlefields every month, so you won't need to wait too long. I can always bring the designs to you, she offered. We would prefer to have them ready before we depart, Suma said. She almost sounded annoyed. I will do my best, Selekar said, ignoring Suma's tone. The day before you leave, come by. I'm confident I will have finished by then. I sighed and agreed, but before I left she had me fill up several dowel jars so she could make more materials as needed, and probably do a few extra experiments. Now all we have to do is wait, I said, as Suma and I walked out of the building. You left her a detailed list of the runes you wanted, right? Suma asked. Yeah, honestly I expected a bigger reaction to the paper though. Seal thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I joked. What's bread? Suma asked. And I briefly considered opening a restaurant of human foods for Nume. but alas, is off to war instead.